Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Sheila Wiggains Show. My name is Michelle. I'm here with my esteemed and most represented performer from the islands, Miss Sheila Wiggains. Miss Sheila, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, dear heart.
That's good. I'm glad. So, thank you for coming to the show. And of course, this show is all about you and for your fans to enjoy you and to learn everything they need to know about Miss Sheila Wiggains. So, Miss Sheila, please tell us, how did this all start for you?
It started from back home in Jamaica, where I'm from. I was born and grown in Jamaica, West Indies. And it started right in the elementary school, Whitfield Town Elementary School, where we go to a workshop in Half a Tree every Wednesday. Miss Badal Smith was the person that did that. And from there, we start learning songs, learning voice. She taught us a lot in that group. And from there on, I start singing different other songs from other places, other countries, folk, and of course, island songs that we hear, like the Banana Boat song and the Aki song, Karamis Market, go to Linstead Market and all that. Most people know it. If they're listening, they'll know what I'm talking about.
Hmm. So, at what age did you start realizing that you wanted to be a performer?
From I was a little girl. From the age 10, 9, going up, from going to that vocal training every Wednesday, I knew I wanted to do that.
Okay, that's good. So, when you were in elementary school, you did all of this singing with your teacher. What was there, like a choir or something?
No, we'd have to leave the premises every Wednesday and go to Half a Tree, which is a good distance away, where the workshop was held upstairs, the library.
Mhm.
That's how we all started off. And for me, that's how I started and got more and more involved.
So, what motivated you to actually become interested in music?
It has to do with the songs that we sing. Some of those songs you had to demonstrate, like the market, Karma Aki, there she would set up little venues at school and we'd all dress the same way. And whenever the parents, teachers come and they have a little show, we would do that show for the parents. And it started from there on. And from there on to high school, we start doing plays. I start doing plays and at the Little Theater Movement up in Kingston area, Upper Kingston.
Hmm.
Merle Grove High School is a very good Christian high school for all girls. It's an all girls school, and I learn a lot there.
Okay, like, can you give us an example?
Like when we have the school's drama festival, I was taught to learn how to paint the sets and stuff like that, and even learn to make the costumes. And I became wardrobe mistress for all those costumes, even when I was in the play itself. So I learned a lot. I learned to do makeup for the people in the play, paint the carts, all the sets. And we won one year for best performance at the Little Theater Movement.
That's good. So, after high school, what did you do then?
I wanted to go to do nursing in England, and that didn't come about at that time. So I worked for the government of Jamaica. I worked for the Licensing Authority, Manhattan Road, and I worked for Uptown, where they had a typing pool there, and we did government work. So I did work for the government, receptionist.
Did you feel that by coming to America that you would further your career as an artist?
Yes, that was always in the back of my mind to pursue further on. And so when I came to America, I I always look and see what they're doing next and mostly in the plays and Broadway and all those stuff. And that's how I still wanted to continue in what I was doing.
Okay, that's good. So when you came to America, what did you do first as far as extending your career as a musician?
Well, the first part I got into school in New York. I went to CPU, which was computer programming unlimited. And then after that, I was living in not in New York City, but in Passaic. That's the area I was living in. From there, I joined up with a church and up in Paterson, New Jersey, and they had a choir there, and of course, that's going to pull me in because it's singing again.
Mm-hmm.
So I joined the choir and I start singing with the folks there in Paterson, New Jersey. And then I started really moving around. AME Church invited me, the pastor, to come and sing at their church. And that was gospel. And so I started off singing at different venues. And it continued like that. And I still keep doing all those things to see where I'm needed most. But my real passion was to be an artist.
Mhm. That's good. So what was your break when you first came into America? What was there
My
anything that
break,
propelled you?
my break, it started off, you'd never believe it. A lady asked me to sing at her daughter's funeral.
Oh my.
Which was she knew my mom and she told me what she wanted me to sing if I could do it. And I said sure. And that was in New York City, up in the Bronx.
Hmm. How did it make you feel?
It was a very hard one because I've never done that in all my, coming from Jamaica. I've never sang at a funeral before. I've never been asked to. So coming to America and to see that was really something. But I said, well, God wants me to do this. I'm going to do it, and I did it. And she asked me to sing the Lord's Shepherd prayer. That's what she wanted that for her daughter, because she lost her daughter.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So that's how I started in America. You have to say that was my first performance
Oh, okay.
publicly with people, attending this venue.
Hmm. Did anybody come to you and say anything afterwards?
Oh, they love what I did. They think that was very unique and appreciative.
Okay, that's good. And then what happened after that?
Okay, that's right there. I said I just continue singing gospel songs and do a lot of writing at the time, but didn't have anyone to really promote me because I'm new. And I really don't know people around, and that you have to be in a certain circle for them to introduce you. And I didn't get that privilege more than to go to church on a Sunday and sing in the choir. And, I continued to write my songs. I still had that in my mind to do. And it all started out when my health started taking a different toll and I had to leave. And the doctor said I have to come to get a warmer place. So here I had Florida.
Hmm.
But
What songs were you writing on occasion?
I was writing gospel. I was writing a lot of gospel songs because, I started out like that. So I feel that that was my strength to writing about what's, people that like to hear songs of inspiring people's mind and how they think. And that's how I started writing. And coming to Florida was where everything burst open wide.
How so?
Because when I came to Florida, because I am a Christian person, I didn't want to go in the clubs and all those places to sing. So I held back. The cigarette smokes and all those stuff. I couldn't handle that's how I was. they took smoking out of all those areas in the lounge and all in the hotels. That's when I said I would see if I can go in and sing in one of those places. And I was invited to come in and sing at the Holiday Inn, and that was jazz. And I had all the folks that work with me, the girls, the nurses that work with me said they would support me and they would attend. So they all signed up and got a room at the hotel so they could support me singing there that evening, which I think was very nice.
Now, so it was just yourself
Just me.
provided the background music for your drummer, the guitarist, bass player.
Oh, it wasn't. It was like I had my tracks, and I just take it in, and they play that, and then I just with my track, and that's how I started at the Holiday Inn in Fort Myers.
So how did you get those tracks?
I had to go to the studio, and I asked them if they could make a copy of it, and they did, and I paid for it so that I could sound. The track wouldn't sound like it's a karaoke track. So I wanted to sound like you had a real band behind you. So that's how the music was very good and sound, but not flat, but very classy.
So those were your songs that you wrote?
No, those weren't my songs now, because this is jazz.
Okay.
At the era that I was doing was Frank Sinatra songs and all those folks, Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin songs. Those were the songs that you would mostly do at that time from that Rat Pack era with the jazz, which was jazz. And it all depends on what we're doing. That's how I would be. At my church now, I joined the First Assemblies of God, and that was in Fort Myers. And I start going there and they got to know that I'm a singer, and they asked me to sing at the function. I generally sing before the pastor gives his message. And that was really a beautiful time doing all those stuff. Then I start getting invitation to sing in other places. But the best one was the group for Joy Sounds. Joy Sounds was directed by Jim Stapleton from the Alliance Church. And he was very good. He held all the auditions, and I went and I auditioned for him to get into the group, which was Joy Sounds, a great group, very talented young people. And we start singing gospel and doing concerts all over Fort Myers.
Okay. So for youngsters who are growing up now, especially in the church, and they want to find their own way, what type of suggestions or pointers would you give out to them today before we wrap it up?
They have to make a decision. Which way are you? We have different category of music. We have pop, we have gospel, you got R&B, you got jazz, and you got country, and also you got rock. So whenever anyone is going to go into that, they have to know who they really are, what they really want, and they have to make a decision. It's not that you sing that, but how am I going to sound singing that same song? You have to feel it in your spirit. This is what I want to do. And once you feel it in your spirit, God will guide you and you will go the way that you're supposed to go. Imitation doesn't do it. Be just you. Be you and not anyone else when you're singing. That's how it is. The minute you try to imitate, you're going to go off track. Always be you and know in your heart and soul that's what you want to do.
All right. Well, with that being said, we're going to thank you and we'll see you next time. Take care, Miss Sheila.
Thank you, my dear, and God bless.